Okay, so I thought I'd do a video on the M&W kits you could get to upgrade your Farmall tractors. Depending on what year it was, there was different stuff available. So, every tractor's kind of a different arrangement of stuff on it. There's lots of cool stuff in here. We're going to cover some actual footage of the actual pieces, and then we'll cut to the pictures in the catalog of them. Lots of cool stuff here. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you comment down below, and let's get right to it. This is a M&W live hydraulic pump, and then you can see the pressure line comes back to this, and this is a remote valve. Okay, you get your lever there. And then this is a bypass, so that you can use one-way or two-way hydraulics on this tractor with this valve. And then you can see the suction line off the pump. See, it comes around and down and goes in the bottom of the belly pump. So what they've done is they've disabled the belly pump, and they're using the belly pump housing as a reservoir. You can see the return line out of the valve also dumps in the side of the belly pump, but those obviously run back to a quick connect back there. Yeah, this was, I've got a couple M&W catalogs I'll try to scan in here, but this is the M&W Extra Deluxe live hydraulic kit, and came with this rod that runs up to the normal location for the belly pump rod. This is like the best M&W hydraulic kit they sold for an M. You can find them on H's also, maybe some other tractors, but this is definitely kind of the cat's meow of hydraulic stuff for an M. I was pretty lucky to find this tractor. So this is a more rare M&W object. This is the M&W Live PTO, sometimes is what it's called. It's really a hand clutch, M&W hand clutch. And what it does is it just, you can see that there, it just stops forward tractor motion while you still have power to the PTO and hydraulics, anything that would normally be driven off the rear end of the tractor. So it kind of sort of gives you a fake live PTO slash fake live hydraulics, because you can stop the tractor and still have those things running. Alright, here's another thing, and you can see this because it says Anchor, Illinois. That's where M&W was produced. This is a M&W throttle. See, it's a friction throttle, so you can just like that instead of having to deal with the sawtooth version of the international throttle. Alright, so this is a homemade friction throttle out of a international sawtooth. They've cut the teeth off here that this would usually catch on, and then you see they've taken the little keyway out there, or the key out of the keyway. And this is a brake pad off of a car, the friction material off a brake pad anyway. And they've drilled and bolted this all together so that it can just sit wherever you leave it. Alright, so this is the international friction throttle, which it looks pretty much like the M&W one, except the handle's obviously a little bit different, and it doesn't say Anchor, Illinois on it. Functionally, they're pretty much exactly the same. Now, the big piece of this is that if you see one of these, normally you're going to be dealing with a Super. So a Super C, Super M, Super H, something like that. This is the upgrade for the newer tractors. Okay, so this thing here, and you see it says, just like on the The throttle lever, this is M&W Gear Company, Illinois, or Anchor, Illinois. So this is an M&W 9-speed transmission. You can see that shifter sticks up there. Some of these will be cable operated, and it'll look kind of like a choke cable on a lawnmower or a throttle cable on a lawnmower. And some of them have that lever. There's a third design. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but you'll find these on M's and H's mostly. I know this one will fit a W4 also. I'm thinking the one for an M should fit a W6. I don't know if they made them for other ones or not, but I know that that's the 4 models that it should fit. So this is not an M&W kit, but they did make a kit that looks almost exactly like this. This is that's what we used to pattern this kit off of. This is a fast hitch off of 560, off of Farmall 560. And M&W made a kit that included a set of brackets that look like this, one on each side, to attach any fast hitch, depending on what it came off of. There's different stuff, but to attach one to an M. This is just a straight Farmall M, nothing special, not a super M or anything. But it's really not that hard to make. It's just a piece of plate, but you have to be able to find a fast hitch first, and they're not very easy to find off of a tractor already. Usually, if you got one, you don't want to let go of it. Alright, so another aftermarket thing you'll find on these tractors is the pre-cleaner. There's a couple different ones. M&W also made a kit to remove the whole oil bath assembly and put a paper filter in it, and it's really cool looking. I'll see if I can scan in a copy of that. Alright, so this is a Charlin power steering pump. Okay, or power steering kit, I should say. So you have the pump here. There's a pulley that bolts onto the front of the regular crank pulley. You have this reservoir here. Okay, and now that uses automatic transmission fluid, not power steering fluid. Keep that in mind. And then the lines go up, and you have, they call it a torque generator, power steering motor, whatever you want to call it, is right here. And it all fits nice and neat under the hood. So that's definitely one aftermarket thing you can find on an M. Alright, so this is also something you'll find once in a while. This is a Balun power steering pump. And it goes up to the Balun power steering torque motor, or whatever you want to call it. So it's a little more of an eyesore than the Charlin stuff, because it's obviously not under the hood. This is a lot more powerful, and this is a direct drive, versus the Charlin is it's an overdrive. So like, I don't know the actual ratio, but like if you turn the steering wheel half a turn, you might get a full turn at the steering box. Here's another aftermarket thing. We're stepping back in time here. We're going to look at an F20, but this is a PTO extension. So an F20 PTO is actually smaller, I believe, than a normal, 6-blind 540 PTO. And then this goes on there, extends it out so it's actually kind of usable. Now, this is also an aftermarket thing. This is a Balun overdrive kit. That's kind of what they were known for originally. It was building these for these F20 rear ends. Because a lot of the F20s don't have a road gear. There are some of the later ones that have a road gear, but these, most of these and the Farmall regulars, the 1020s, none of those have any kind of a road gear, because you're not going to drive something on steel wheels on the road. Now, as as the years went on, most of them got converted to rubber, or like this one actually came with rubber. Then you would want to be able to drive faster. That would give you a little more road speed and make your tractor look a little bit like a newer tractor, or work a little bit like a newer tractor, I should say.